Alright, welcome to the show, guys. I just realized something. My window is not showing. Right, let's jump into the show. Let's get all of this stuff there. There we go. Windows up and everything's up. I want to talk about a few bits and bobs today, especially patterns. Patterns are quite awesome to see, and I think sometimes they are misrepresented. They're not actually put on your screens as they are. So it's very important to understand how some of these patterns look. Okay. Also, let me just double check if the microphone and everything is okay. Let's have a look at this. Let's see. Okay, microphone seems okay. I think I had a little bit of a glitch before because of what we were doing yesterday. Remember, I was streaming yesterday and I didn't really have my headphones with me. Anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Let's get the community out there to know what's going on, and let's look at a bigger picture of what's going on. Yesterday I was given a tweet by someone, so a tweet was shared to me regarding a specific pattern about parabolas and everything. It's like, well, what the market's done. And for me, I always like to, like, you know, we kind of briefly mentioned about someone talking about how they're trying to connect dots, right? And I said, look, you know, it's okay to connect dots, right? But sometimes, you know, for me it was annoying because I didn't really see where the connection was coming from. I didn't understand what I'm seeing, like, you know. So what I did was I went back. Hey Bubble, awesome bro, thank you very much. Awesome. How you doing? You okay? Yeah, that's good, man. So what I wanted to see was, you know, these patterns that have been presented to me, right? And the pattern that was presented to me was something, this pattern here. Now, every pattern, doesn't matter where it is, has to have a beginning and an end. Very simple, right? So when you're looking at parabola patterns, all right, now let me take this to a weekly. It'll be easier to show you this, right? So when you're looking at patterns that are parabolas, right, you need to find a beginning, which I found, which is the bottom of the market, to the top, because the person who actually tweeted this, and I'm not going to mention anything because, you know, what's the point? You know, they're just seeking attention, and I wasn't happy about that. So they took it from 2018, the bottom of 2018. They said, okay, we take it from the bottom and we see a parabola. Fine. So I did the same. I just put a parabola on there as well. But any parabola has to have an end, right? So very simple. So we know that this parabola had an end here. And then you can see this parabola had an end here. So we got the beginning line, which is the yellow line, right? You can see the beginnings yellow. And then we've got the top here, which is the end of the cycle, right? So that's how a parabola ends. Happy days. In between that, we have ups and downs and everything. It's all good. So we have a beginning and we have an end. Very simple. So we are connecting dots even better than everybody else, right? So what I did was I just said, okay, fine, let me connect the dots and see where the parabola takes me. Well, parabola takes me to close to about $450,000. But this person was thinking, telling everyone that the parabola is showing bearish. And I'm like, well, no, parabola is not showing anything bearish, because ultimately there is no fixed time to when we're going to arrive there. But if this shape continues, it carries on. But even on top of that, when you're doing these kind of curves, well, look, you can adjust this to however you like. So someone's clearly adjusted it to how they want to. And I was really annoyed about that. I was like, I hate these idiots, because they're always doing something like this. And, you know, they just draw a line from anywhere. But ultimately, I'll take the point that they connected it from. But they haven't ended it because they don't have anything to end to. They don't know where to end. So they're trying to end it here by just basically taking this here and saying, oh, look, well, this is what it is. You know what I mean? And adjusting that line to it and saying, oh, this is the end. Well, no, that's not the end, because you can't just take this KR, hey, bro, you know what I'm talking about here, right? So they can't just take something and adjust it like this. So I'm just trying to show you live here how it works, right? So I've given myself a, you know, I've just basically put a simple parabola on there. And I said, well, if this is a parabola, it doesn't have to be accurately there, but I've got a dot where I'm connecting, right? So this is where my picture ends. I've got the end here. This is the beginning and this is the end. So I've just left it like this. And I said, look, maybe history won't do exactly like this, where we did thousands of percents. but we still have enough room to do hundreds of percents. Do you know what I mean? So we might not do thousands of percents, but we have enough room to do hundreds of percents. And none of this, to me, look like a bearish thing, because ultimately, as I've said, what bear market? Because a bear market for me would be a bear market if we came back down to these prices. And so far, Bitcoin's on a been rising on a rising channel. I don't think it's going to come down. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those kind of things. You just know it's just not coming down. Obviously here we can ignore all of this data, but if we even use another line, right, and just use these market bottoms and just do something like this, right, and just say, okay, this is the market bottoms, and just take something like this, we have this parallel wedge forming, and you can see the bottom of the wedge is down here somewhere, right? Bottom of the wedge is down here somewhere, which also coincides with the 200-day moving average. So that's what I saw anyway. I just wanted to get this out of the way, because I know there's been some confusions. I know a few other people have mentioned stuff like this, and I don't even know why these attention seekers are out there. Remember, you're on Twitter, you've got a massive following, give them the correct information. When you're connecting dots, don't put a dot here, and then not have a beginning on our end. Always have a beginning point. So you gave me a beginning point, so whoever this person was gave me a beginning point, which was 2018. Fine, I respect that. But I need to see an end, and the end usually, as we can see, there's a channel. So if we have a channel and we base it on that, then the hypothetical scenario that we have plays out better, because we have a beginning and an end. So that's all I wanted to say. I mean, what was the point connecting something like this? Because it's just hilarious, like, how people come in and just start connecting dots. And I thought, okay, let me connect some dots for you as well. So I hope this kind of helps. So not a rant or anything like this, just want to clear some air, basically, because some of this is just pure stupidness. Right, another thing I wanted to talk about, right? So let's get rid of some of this stuff, because this is now congested chart. Actually, no, leave it, that's fine. Let's zoom into this. So what have we got right now? So what we got here is, we were expecting this market to come down to the bottom of this channel, right? And you can see we came down. We had a low of, let's have a look, we had a low of 39,085, so very close to that $38,000 mark that we were targeting. We said that we might come, which was on this chart. You can see we did say that, look, we could easily come down to the bottom and test this $38,000. Well, we did come to $39,000, so we were off by 1,000, and then we kind of done a recovery bounce, which is absolutely awesome to see. But then there's more patterns here that I want to show you as well, right? So you might see somebody talking about this descending triangle. Of course, we have a descending triangle if you look at the weekly, but things kind of change and become more clear. So for example, here we don't really have a descending triangle if you look at this greater picture, right? If you look at this bigger picture here, you can see for Bitcoin, the only descending triangle we actually did have was around here, and we broke that. So if you look at this line here and this area here, we did have one, but we broke that. You see what I mean? So this was a triangle here, and we actually broke below this. So descending triangle took us down, as it should. And then some people are trying to connect the dots and say, well, this is also a descending triangle. And I'm like, well, not entirely, because that already happened. Do you know what I mean? So we've already had that descending triangle. So it's okay to see patterns, but there are many patterns in there. So if you look carefully, you'll see them. So let's get rid of this descending triangle pattern away, right? Because this is not a valid pattern anymore, because obviously we don't have enough of the bounces, because remember, you can't have empty zones to be a part of the triangle. You need to have the actual area bouncing. So what we're talking about is, we need to have something touching these areas similar like this before it breaks down, and we did that already. Do you know what I mean? We already did that, as you can see. So that's how the triangle is formed. The triangle would touch all points, minimum 3 points, 3 touch points. So we had 1, 2, 3 here, we had 1, 2 here, and then we broke down. So we can use this and say, well, this is what we've got. So this is definitely a pattern for us, right? And in this particular pattern, we can see we only have 1 touch point here, for example. I mean, some people like to use this, but we'll just call it 1. Or maybe even someone will bring it down and say, okay, do you know what? Look, we've had, let's get rid of this. Someone might bring it down and say, well, look, this pattern is showing us, we've got to think. No, we don't, because look, that's 1 point. and then you've got 2 points here, and there's nothing here, so it's not really a triangle. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to clear that kind of a misunderstanding, because I know a lot of people are getting confused with these kind of data. So that's what we've got. Right, I want to show you another pattern now that I've got, and I'm going to move over to the final pattern later, right? So we're going to do this slowly. We're going to get there. I'm going to get rid of this. This was one we just did now, right? This is what we did, right? So next pattern we've got, right? And you can see this next pattern. Let me just try and alter this, right? So you can see this. This is a symmetrical triangle. And so far on a symmetrical triangle, what we've had, you can see we've had this, we've had this, we've had this, we've had this, and we're closing the gap, right? We're coming in to close the gap. So what we're seeing here is we've had this high, we've had this low, we've had this lower high, we've had this higher low, and now we're probably going to move back up again. And I'll kind of reiterate a little bit more. So we're seeing this red line here. Remember, this is where we see the ascending triangle. But again, we need multiple touch points to confirm if this is an ascending triangle, right? So far we have just enough data, like, you know, just a few, not enough, to give us this area. So what I did was I said, okay, let me ignore some of this area, this run here, because this is a larger mega cycle, right? Let's ignore all of this and let's try and see a shorter time period. So what I did was I actually literally took this area here and I said, okay, let me see if I can find 3 touch points. So I did 1, 2, 3 touch points here, and I've come down all the way here, right? So I've got 3 touch points here, which is awesome. Then I've come in this way and I said, okay, now I have my 3 touch points. What do I see? So this is what I see, and I see a lovely little pattern here. So this is coming down and bouncing right now. Is this a complete pattern? Absolutely not. There's a lot more room in this, right? And usually these patterns are very indecisive, so we don't know. I mean, this could, if the momentum is up, it breaks out. It definitely breaks out. So this is one of those patterns that is positive and negative, right? And it depends on momentum. So we can see that if the momentum is going downwards, then it does break down. However, if the momentum is going upwards, right? So for example, we're seeing the market cycle trending this way, then we can see this do this and actually break out. And usually when it breaks out, these are power moves, right? So in order for me to demonstrate this, on one of these triangles, we actually use this total area here, for example, and I'll use this specific area. So if we use this area, and you can see, right, when they do break out, how powerful these breakouts are, right? So this one, for example, if we did break out of this one, you can see this one straight away takes us to around $88,000, right? And on the downside, if we broke down, then it's not a good story, because it kind of shows us it's going to go all the way down there. But we can't really use any of this for now, because we're not going to go to 3K. Do you know what I mean? So this is what it is. It's just one of those kind of a pattern you have to really look at and be careful about how you see it, you know, because it can be totally bearish to you or actually very bullish to you. So again, to get another clear picture, what I did was I said, okay, we've got all of this information. We can see we're inside a symmetrical triangle. So what is this kind of telling us? You know, where are we right now? So what I did then, I said, okay, and let me delete some of these lines again. I just did this a little while ago, guys. I just literally sat there while I'm setting up the stream. I was actually doing this. So what we're doing here is very simple. Let's get rid of this as well, so we don't need this anymore. Actually, no, we'll leave this. We'll leave this for a second. Give me a second. We'll leave this there. Let's get rid of this stuff here. This is nonsense. You know, I don't like nonsense on the charts, and I don't like people talking about nonsense as well. Ultimately, look, BTC is becoming more and more scarce. Exchanges are running out of coins, and all of this relates to one thing, right? You know, we're going to another level. Anyway, so let's look at the trend line. So we've got this major trend line from 2020. You can see this major trend line. We've got this trend line, and currently seems like we're coming close to bounce on this trend line. Usually it's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? When you have a trend line like this, is a good thing. And we can have multiple trend lines. Like, you know, if we wanted to draw another one here, for example, and say this is a trend line, we can also do this, but we've gone beyond this trend line, so we can't really use this anymore. However, this trend line, greater trend line, is actually playing out, and we might come back and test this. And that tells us that we do have a floor around the $38,000. That's a bit of a funny one, isn't it? Because that's exactly where we put our box. So you remember this box here that we put in the other day, right? And we were doing this, I think we did this yesterday, right? We have a little box here. and our box falls in within this range here. So it says within the next few days, if we do get a nice little significant dump, this should be the floor. Now, if this is a floor and this was a floor, then this is a higher low. That takes us to a whole different level. Do you know what I mean? So these are the kind of things I was looking at, and I was like, okay, all good. Now, out of all of these symmetrical and everything, symmetrical triangles, as you know, are not bearish or bullish. They're both, right? So where's the next pattern for us? Do you know what I mean? And that's where it brings you into this wedge here. So you're seeing this wedge here. So I've got this wedge. Let me change the color for you so you can see the wedge properly. So we've got a wedge here. We've got a sloping downwards wedge, right? You know, in fact, it's actually a proper wedge, and I'll show you, demonstrate this to you by doing this, right? You can see this. This is hilarious, right? When you look at this, this is what we got, and then this is what you got. You can see this is an actual wedge, right? So what we know is when we have a falling wedge, right? So this is a falling wedge, or you can call it a falling channel. They usually break out. They have a more higher likelihood of breaking out. So what do we see? I mean, like on this chart, everything we see here, like, you know, we see this greater data here. We see this downward channel here. We're below this downward channel here. We're above this upward channel here. We're so close to bounce on this line here. Everyone is seeing this. So what does all of this area relate to us? You know, all of this, since here to here, what does all of this relate to us? In technical terms, if you're trading or anything like this whole area, and I'll draw something here for you, this entire area from here, so from here to here, is actually an accumulation zone. So this is where people would be accumulating, buying the dips. This is all buying the dip area. You buy the dip and then you shoot up, right? So this is exactly what most of the institutions and everybody are going to be doing right now. Guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. That really supports the channel. And if you are not new, then hit that like button. Helps to get the message out to everybody. So let's do this. So this is what we're seeing. Do you know what I mean? This is exactly what we're seeing. This is a pure accumulation zone. This is a consolidation zone, right? And we can see this consolidation in another way as well. So if we actually do, let's do two little boxes here just to kind of see. This would be a consolidation, and you can see this area also here has become a consolidation, right? So you can see how there's this overlap here where this is a consolidation area. This is not really doing much. It's just up and down, indecisive. And it's within these symmetrical triangle and just formed itself over many days, a falling wedge and a falling channel. All of this is telling me one thing, that we're going to probably come back here and then do this, right? All of this is telling me. But is that enough information? Do you know what I mean? Can we actually go by this? Well, let's have a look and see what else we can see. We can see the stochastic RSI and RSI, especially the RSI, so the yellow line. And what do we see on the yellow line? We also see a falling wedge. We also see a falling wedge, right? We see this pattern forming here, and here's the wedge. If you in doubt, here's the wedge. You can see the wedge here as well, right? So we see this wedge forming here, and a falling wedge usually breaks out. So we can see we've had these, you know, high ups, and we had this you know, area where we heated up a little bit, and we just come down to cool down. But what happens after we cool down? Well, we usually go back up again. Do you know what I mean? Hey OC, how you doing, bro? So you see how this is all translating. This is all telling us, well, hold on. We've had our up, we've been up here for a long time, we've come down below here, we're below our 50 mark, right? So we can put a line here. I know this is kind of messy, guys, but I know it will make sense to you when you understand. We're below our 50 mark. This is our 50. We're below 50. This is consolidation zone. This is accumulation zone, right? We've gone all the way down to our 32, 33 level, and we're bouncing back into this 40. Everything here is indicating that we just want to go back up again. And remember, when the market is down, that's when you should be buying, because that's when it's indicating that, guys, there's a lot of fear in the market, right? Talking about fear, let's have a look at fear and greed today. So this was yesterday, so let's have a look at fear and greed today. Look at that. The fear's gone down even further, right? So when you're looking at these extreme fears, this is the exact time the market is signaling that, guys, look, we're down here right now, we're getting ready to reverse. Now for traders who want to trade and everything like this, we've got Stochastic RSI here, also getting ready to do that flip. It's getting ready to do that flip. Question is can it do this flip and can it break above this neckline? So on the Stochastic RSI, we've got this neckline here, this little neckline here. So what we need to do is literally, I'll show you this, right? We need to basically, this particular blue line here needs to come all the way up here and break above this, right? As long as it does this, this is it. Do you know what I mean? This is it. And here, for example, as I said, this is a channel. We just got to break the channel and come up here and break this neckline here. And that's it. We're back off to the races. You know what I mean? So, no, but Bubble. Elsie's here. I am at the train station. Hi there. Also, Michael. How you doing, bro? You okay? Nice to see you. Got off school. I'm going to be trading all day. Awesome. El Bubble doesn't trade, he just accumulates. Awesome. Alcy ordered 3 books on trading. Awesome. You'll understand all of this, Alcy. Once you understand the patterns, you'll see. Oh, sorry, OC, not Alcy. Sorry, my bad. You'll understand all of this. It will make total sense to you how these patterns play out. So you see what I'm showing here. Everything will make sense to you. You know, obviously, you take the information from the books, and then you apply them to your own methods and you test them. So you got to test them, right? It's not about just taking that in, that's absolute. Everybody that writes has his own narrative. I found this setting for me to work the best, and this is just the default setting of the Stochastic RSI, and it's a slight custom setting for the RSI, and it just works for me. And then when we do patterns like shapes, we can see what the shape does. So here, as you can see, as I said, this is all indicating that it just wants to shoot up again. You know, look at this. It just, whenever we come down, we are going to go up because we're not going to go down forever. Do you know what I mean? So all of this is indicating that there's a massive move coming. It's a matter of when, you know, and ultimately, I mean, pattern is confirming that this move is coming. Do you know what I mean? So you look at this move is coming. So that's that. Also, if you look carefully here, we've got the MACD. MACD, I told you, this gap is starting to close. So once this gap closes, we can see this blue line flipping back up. And remember, when this blue line, the leading line, flips back over and goes above the red line and starts shooting up, we're going to see these massive moves. Do you know what I mean? We are going to see these massive moves. So everything is translating and telling us, look, guys, there's big moves coming in the market. And I don't know why I'm lagging so much. Hate this. But yeah, everything's indicating that we could see this bottom here, and this could be it, and then shoot back up again. It is the golden pocket area as well. So if you know, how we do the Fibonacci's, 618 and 650 around this area, which is coincidentally the 37 mark, is usually the golden pocket zone. So let's see what it does, what the market does. It should be kind of interesting. That's why I wanted to show you guys. There's multiple patterns here. There are so many ways people are talking about different patterns and different things. There's bullish sentiment, there's bearish sentiment, and what I'm showing you here regarding this ascending triangle on a major trend. This is from 2020, almost a year and a half, right? When we look at this major trend, of course we have an ascending triangle. So it is absolutely indecisive. So when it's indecisive, we can't just project something without actual facts on the chart. And all the chart is telling us, as you can see, is it wants to move up. It's telling us, guys, we're ready for the next leg up. So we can see patterns within a pattern, and we can see what it all relates to and it wants to do. BTFD. Sorry, Michael Tran, I didn't understand. What's BTFD, bro? I'm only good with FOMO and FUD. That's the only two medically proven, what do you call this? Disorders I know about. What's BTFD? BTFD. Let's find out what that means. It's a new word for me. So yeah, let's have a look at this. See what happens. Now, let me throw a few coins in there. All right, absolutely, my brother, absolutely. That's it. So this is what, look, everything's been shouting and screaming at us that you got to be buying the dip. Whereas it was a complete opposite for some of the altcoins that we talked about. For example, where is it? not Ethereum. Ethereum was shouting by the dip. Let's find one, right? So for example, this one, when it was pumping, it was shouting it's going to come down, and it's just come down a little bit more. It's having a hard time. It's now having a hard time. And again, if you look carefully, look at this. It's just like, it's missed the golden pocket, but it's there. But you know what? Again, everyone's just waiting. They want that discount. They want that discount. They want that discount. Let's have a look at bubbles here. So let's give Bubble some e-gold. Bubble likes his e-gold. Bubble, look where we are back again. You see that zone, that 210 zone that we were going to buy here? Well, you know, if we did enter, we're still fine. Do you know what I mean? So now what we know, and this is really cool actually. So let me explain this to you. This is something a lot of people don't understand or notice. So you see how we had 1, 2, that kind of 3 touch points here. Now what we've done is this. We've created a whole brand new trend line. Right, a whole brand new trend line. So we've got 1, 2, 3. This is our new trend line now, and according to our new trend line, we're on track. Do you know what I mean? This is healthy, by the way. This gives the opportunity for things to pump a lot more. Exactly, Michael. Exactly. This is what I always say as well. You know, it's the shit coins are going to lose money for you, but stay in the strong ones, you know, because the strong ones are never going to fail you. Those are the ones that, you know, have enough monetary power behind them. And I kind of explain it this way. Oh yeah, we talk about BitDAO as well, actually. I'll talk about BitDAO because, you know, I'm really bullish on BitDAO. So stay on the strong ones, because when you've got this kind of monetary power behind it, you know, billions and billions of dollars, we know that the institutions are backing this. So if you stick to the big boys, you're fine. Do you know what I mean? Yes. OC asks, is there a reason why I ask you to stay in the 15-minute instead of stay in the 1 hour chart instead of the 15 to 5-minute chart? The reason is very simple. Let me show you this. Let's move you. Actually, let's get this here. Let's clear some of this, and let's put you on a 5-minute candle, and I'll explain to you a lot better that way, because it will make total sense to you. So we're in BTC. You're trading BTC. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You want to make a ton of money. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Everything here is indicating bullish, 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 bullish. I'm just giving you an example here. So imagine this candle here. You want to make money on this candle. Bro, this is the problem with this, right? On this 5-minute candle, you're going to be making 0.2%. 0.2%. So that's not even a 1%. You're actually only paying for the fees. Okay, let's move over to a 15-minute candle. So let's just say this big one here. You got lucky and you got this big one here. Well, again, listen to this. Right? And you pumped all the way up there. You only made 0.4%. Again, you're paying for the fees. So do you want to trade the 15-minute candle and just pay for the fees? You're trading for them. You're just giving them money. You're not making any money. Does that make any sense to you? So now we're going to move over to an hour, and we're going to do the opposite thing on an hour. And we're going to say, okay, let's have a look at this calculation and see what the hourly does for us. Because you can see, I'm showing you these maths here, right? Now we go to an hourly candle and say you got lucky and you bought this candle. You've made 0.68, which is actually a lot better than 0.4 or whatever. And, you know, you can see that bigger the time frame, the bigger the money. So for example, you got lucky and you bought on this one just for the sake of it. Then this is what you would have done on that particular hour. You would have made 4%. So I hope this kind of makes sense to you. The higher the time frame, the more percentage you're making. Remember, I told you, don't look at the money, look at the percentage. So understand, when you're trading a specific candle, you need that percentage. The time frames look awesome. Oh, I can make 1,000 trades. Yeah, great, but your 1,000 trades are worth nothing. So you're just wasting money, and you're going to be confused. Like, oh, why am I not making any money? Why are they charging me so much fees? Well, that's because you've been giving them the fees on purpose. Do you know what I mean? So if you move over to higher time frames, right? Like for example, 4-hourly time frames and everything, you can see that, you know, again, the percentage, right? So when you're looking at these, for example, your percentage, like here, it's the same as well. So that 4-hourly and hourly was the same basically. So do understand what I'm trying to say. The higher the time frame, obviously better. But if you're going to be trading on a 4-hour slot, obviously you entered at, you know, say for example, you entered today. What's the time right now? So it's almost 2 p.m. in UK. So you entered a trade at 2 p.m. You want to finish the trade at say 6 p.m. Well, you're going to be trading only this candle, so you don't know what this candle is going to do. So in order for you to trade this, you need to go to slightly lower time frames and trade it. Normally I would say if you're trading 4 hours, go 2 hour or 1 hour, because that way it gives you at least half the market cycle, a candle cycle, or at least 4 quarters of it. Do you know what I mean? And you can trade 1 or 2 of these candles and you're super. That's why I said aim for 5% a day. Isn't it correct that the higher the time frame, the more reliable the pattern is? Absolutely, Michael. This is exactly what I'm trying to explain here. So the higher the time frame, the better the percentage, the more accurate the data, right? Longer the time frame, stronger the time frame. That's what we say, right? So that's what it is. But if you are trading and you want to trade on a day trade, then this is the method you would use. Do you know what I mean? So you don't really go and start trading on something that's you know, on a 5 minute or something. It's not reliable. Do you know what I mean? There are people who do it, but when you're trading 5 minutes or something like this, those are the leverage traders. So as a leverage trade, yes, of course, you easily can trade 5% and make money on it. And let me show you an example of this. Let me see what this is. Here, actually, so I was doing a bit of calculation earlier on. So let's do a little bit of calculation. Let's clear this. Hold on, let's clear this. So I don't know if you knew, there's a calculator just on the corner here. So go to the calculator. So this is your position. Let me delete this. Sorry, this is a calculation I was doing earlier on. So let's do a nice little calculation here and say, right, I want to leverage, right? So I'm going to trade a 5 minute candle. So I'll say I want to trade, I want to leverage 0.1. So I want to leverage not my bad. Leverage. I want to leverage, say 10. I want to do a 10x trade, right? That's my 10x. And I want to leverage quantity contract. So each contract is $1. So I say I want to leverage, say $100. That's all I'm asking for. I'm saying I'm going to do $100. I'm going to leverage 10. That's worth 1,000. And I want to enter at the price so we can see the entry price right now. So let's move this over a little bit. So current entry price would be 421454. So let's say entry price 42,200. Let's just call it 42,200. And this would be a limit order. So I'm doing a future price, not now. So I say I enter this time. I want to close my position. Say, for example, I say I'm not that greedy, but I want to make a few percentage. So I can do the maths and I say I want to close it at, say, 426. So as a 400 difference. Here, look, you can already see I'm making 3%. I'm doing the maths here right now. So I don't have to trade to do the maths. This is already telling me how much money I need to invest, how much leverage if I did, and how much money I'll make. Now, if I change my leverage, you'll see that the percentage changes. So if I had 0 leverage, like 1 is nothing, right? So there's no leverage here. Look, I would make 3.21% on this 5 minute candle if it jumped from 4220 to 4340. Did I do 4360? 43, sorry, my bad. That's why it's showing so much. Let's do a different one. 42. So if we did 42, yes, 42. So and change the leverage to nothing. 1, right? So you see what I mean? 4220 to 4260. So it's a 400 difference, and this is kind of percentage I would make. Yes, I did. But you see what I mean? So, but ultimately, look, even there, I'm making 1%. But this is on a 5 minute, remember? Right now, if I change the time frame and say, okay, I'm not going to do 5 minutes, I'm thinking I'm going to do it over a day, and I want to say, okay, this is going to be a day trade, and I'm going to do 44,000. My target price that I might make some money is going to be 44,000. So I'm going to do this pump. Then my return on investment for the day would be this much, but obviously I'll be doing it with a larger amount. And if I change my quantity, for example, you can see the percentage is still the same. Leverage, remember, is low right now, but again, if I did 10 leverage here, you can see that's a 40% return on investment. So you see what I mean? So this is, just use the maths there. It will help you. But this is how leverage works, but I don't recommend leverage for anybody. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. On a spot buy, it's a different story. You don't need calculators or anything. You enter, you sell, that's it. But again, look for your percentage. You know what I mean? What do I do? Make profit? You type, yes, I did. But I get the gist. Of course. Thank you very much, bro. So I hope this kind of helps. You know, oh, and I was going to talk about BitDAO. Let's talk about BitDAO. This is really awesome, right? Let's go to BitDAO. Where's BitDAO? So I went on today because obviously remember this Ethereum, this amount of Ethereum was actually stuck on the network for almost 4 days. Do you know that? This didn't arrive for almost 4 days, but it arrived finally. I wanted to have a nice little rounded figure. I got my figure, that's fine. And look what they did. They activated BIT. They actually activated the BIT token so people can actually deposit, and when the trading opens on the 29th or 28th, I believe it was, they're going to start doing their thing. So they take a snapshot. So today they're going to take a snapshot at 4 p.m. I think UTC they said. Once they do a snapshot, I'll show you how much they have given me so we can all see how much balance is coming in. How about that? Right. So remember, this was all, the only purpose for me to send all of this was just to basically get some stuff. And you can see history. Here you can see I've only did 3 transactions. You can see the date I've sent them. Do you know what I mean? So that's all it is. All right, I've sent them in, and this one was sent on the same day. Look, it came in 3 days later. So yeah, I mean, it's all good, but this is only for one purpose. As I said to you, I'm here only for the BIT event, nothing more. I'm just going to leave it there, grab myself some BIT. Once I've got my BIT, then I'm moving my asset over because I don't need it anymore, and then I'm going to use the BIT to do whatever. So 5 days time, they're going to start giving me their rewards or whatever. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on that one. Really super bullish on BIT. Kind of hard still, since I don't really understand how it works. Bro, practice makes perfect. So you'll make a lot of mistakes and then you get there. So leverage trading, I'll try to research it soon. No, don't research leverage trading yet. Just get the hang of using the exchange first, right? Get the hang of using the exchange first, because that's the most important thing. All right, even on spot trading, you know, get the hang of using these buttons first before you jump onto leverage trading, because when you're there, you're going to get wrecked if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, because you got to be really careful how much money you're putting on. How the hell is this page unresponsive? Too many pages. Ooh. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Nope. Okay. Get rid of this. So I'm having some. I think I'm having some internet issues. Exactly, Michael. You know, leverage, even for pros, trust me, even for pros, it's not just noobs. Literally everybody on trade, it's all about, remember what I said, it's all about you pressing that one button. And the moment you've pressed that button, obviously not here, when you press the button here, you buy. Simple. This is your asset, your piece of land. Think about it like your piece of land. So when you buy something here, this is yours. When you sell, you just sold. That's it. You buy the asset or you sell the asset. So it's very simple this way. But when we go to the leverage trading, when you're trading with other people's money. So when other people are lending you money for you to trade, the risk is higher and they want their money regardless what happens. So if you default, they're going to take all your property. Whatever you own, they're going to take it. You know what I mean? So this is what the risk is. Like, for example, on this 5-minute candle, look, it's just super hot right now. I wouldn't pick it up. I wouldn't do anything. But this was just something I was demonstrating the other day. I was like, okay, let me show you something on a 5-minute candle, how to actually execute trades. You know, and there's a few other things as well. So for example, if I was to do another thing as well, let me get this as well. A lot of people don't understand this as well, so I'll show you. This is average true range, and here what we can do is, and let me change this to a bar style. I don't like that style. Hello. Okay, so I can't edit this, but anyway, oh, I can. Super. Hold on, let me just change the style, because normally I like this style. It's a lot better, columns. So if we do this, we can see that what the average true range is on this 5 minutes. So it's saying on the 5 minute, you can be prepared to lose $85. So you see how it's constantly telling us what the true range is. So if we had a dip, we can do $85, currently $81, $85. And on the upside, it's actually double this number. So this is how we do. We use this candle to see what the upside potential is, which is usually a 2-to-1 ratio. So if we go down once, then we should go up twice. Right, so based on this math, you can see that if we went down, we can actually go down all the way to drop the price by $87 on this 5 minute. However, on the way up, we can do $160 or $70. So there's so much to learn, trust me, so much to learn. But it's, you know, trial and error. you know, not trial and error, obviously. Now you're here, I'll guide you, that's not an issue, but you practice will make you perfect. And as I said, just practice the emotions first, because it's really difficult to trade you know, without emotions. It's control. It's like you know, I know, it's like Star Trek. Oh, Yoda, right? You've got to control your emotion, you know, be that guy. And then see what happens. Like, you know, look, market's pumping, oh look it's going, but everything is indicating it's going to come down, so I'm not going to get excited, you know what I mean? It's all about controlling that emotion. Once you do that, you're fine. So we can see this is indicating hot, but then still pushing. And also, we, as you said, the ATR is telling that on the way upside we're going to do $170, and on the way down we might do $85. So, you know, that's what you're willing to lose, basically. So $85 would be your stop loss if you were to do a leverage trading. So you know, I don't like to talk about leverage, but I think, you know, one day I'll do it. I'll do it with you guys one day, just maybe 1 or 2 videos, because it's something I don't want everybody to do unless you really understand the consequences. You know, spot buy is a different story. So this is just a you know, way of like kind of just educating you a little bit, you know. But yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, here, look, for example, on this candle, it was telling us we could drop by $477. And this is using the average true range. Should I be getting on an average if I'm trading 4 hours on a 1 hourly candle a day? Try to target 2 or 3, you know, so your candle, try to trade 2 or 3 candles. But remember what I told you, if you're on an hourly candle and you see this kind of a pattern and it says, look, it's not worth trading, don't trade. Be you know, be disciplined enough not to trade this, to say, okay, look, it's saying it's going to come down, so I'm not going to trade, I'm going to wait for this. So if it takes, you know, a day or 2, if it takes a few hours for it to come down, be patient, wait for it, it's going to come. As a trader, you have to have absolute control over your emotion, and you do not trade where you know, anywhere you haven't agreed to already. So your agreement is you're going to trade here, you stick to that, because remember, you're making those money. My breakout work is over, thanks for sharing. Also, Michael, thank you very much, bro. I appreciate you coming to the show, bro. Thank you. I'm too scared of leverage. I'll wait till I have about 10 years of experience. Of course, no worries. Listen, Aussie, it's not about 10 years or anything. As I said, your buying and selling on the spot market is going to give you all the experience you need, because you're using the same metrics. Remember, you're almost using the same metrics on the spot market. So when we go to this, you can see you're going to be using the same metrics, your same indicators, right? So you're going to be, yeah, you're going to be using the same indicators, same metrics to do exactly the same thing. They don't change whether you're on spot or whether you're on leverage. The indicators are the same. So you're going to use these to practice before you jump onto the other stuff. And I remember I told you, it's not about trading every day. It's about getting that one good trade. Do you know what I mean? Knowing that one good trade. Like, for example, when I keep on telling everybody that 58k is going to be an awesome trade, what am I looking at? You know what I mean? For me, I'll show you this. So when I'm talking about this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this area where once we break these resistance areas, there's nothing stopping us. So if I did a breakout trade up to here, so breakout trade would be very simple. So we come here, we break out of here, we confirm, and then we have another another line going up. So what we're doing, we're moving this up. This neckline, as soon as we come confirm and go back to this neckline, I would do a trade exactly here and shoot up and propel myself with the market, because I want to move with the market. I don't want to move against the market, right? You know, there's a saying like, don't sail against the wind, you want to sail with the wind. Do you know what I mean? If you want to save energy and everything, you save with it. Guess BTC hasn't been. You've entered at a great time. BTC is not volatile right now, and that's a good thing for you, because when it becomes volatile, it will freak you out. You'd rather have something that is not as volatile right now, for you to actually, you know, concentrate and learn and practice. Because imagine we were doing swings of $5,000 a day. It'd freak you out, because that's coming, by the way. BTC will be doing $5,000-$10,000 a day. In fact, when we were down here, when I started this channel, and I just found out the other day, this channel started its first ever post in November. November the 14th was the first video I uploaded. So if I uploaded the first video on November the 14th, sometime after this, around this area here, I actually mentioned that there's a time, and it's on Twitter as well. I said there will be a day when we're going to do $5,000 to $10,000 swings. Are we not doing this already? I think we are. I think these little swings that we saw recently, right? These moves we saw recently, these were the $10,000 swings we've been talking about. These are the $5,000 swings we're talking about. You know, so on the downside $10,000, on the upside $10,000, and I think we're going to keep on doing these, and until in the future we're going to probably do $20,000 swings. Do you know what I mean? So, but as I said, if you're trading on a daily basis, you're trading with a specific amount of money, all you're targeting is to make that much more money, right? Make much more more percentage. So if you can increase your percentage, it doesn't matter what price this is or what swing it does, you're still making money. So that's what trading is. People don't understand. Trading doesn't mean you buying and holding a stash of coins. No, trading literally means you're just making money. You start off with, you know, $1,000, and your target is to make $2,000. That's what trading is. You know, why do we confuse trading with accumulation? Trading is something else. So the trading portfolio is just to make money, pay your bills. And that's what you do. You increase the portfolio by a small percentage every single day when you're trading, and that's your income. Do you know what I mean? People like myself, I've talked about it, that I have separate portfolios. Do you know what I mean? And when it comes to what I do, mainly I'm a hodler. So hodler means I'm not just a hodler. I mean, I buy and I sell, but I buy low and I sell high. Do you know what I mean? And I usually buy low and sell high the alts, not BTC. BTC for me is just to basically kind of save my assets on. This is the wealth preservation. So, you know, store of value basically. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope this was informative. I hope you guys found value. I didn't do any other tokens. There's no point, because I wanted to really show everybody this specific thing here, these patterns and shapes, and what I'm seeing. You know, I could be wrong, because remember, a symmetrical triangle is neither bullish nor bearish. But I just want to get things out of the way and show you all the patterns that I see here, rather than just showing you one pattern at a time or confusing the life out of you. And I said, look, let me just show you all the patterns that we have. There are plenty of patterns here for us to choose, and they're all on the chart. It's not something I'm just making up. These are actually on the chart, as you can see. Ultimately, you know, when we pick out the patterns one by one, we can then see exactly what it is. Do you know what I mean? And so far, we always know anything that goes down always breaks up. It doesn't matter, you know, where we are in the cycle. So, you know, for example, here's 2017, and I'll just do a little crazy one here, right? So it's this 2017, and we have this pattern forming here, and we were breaking down. Eventually, we broke out. And it's the same thing. When you're going up, you break down, and when you go down, you break up. So this is ultimately a greater pattern that, you know, they always play out every single time. And this is chart patterns, you know, and this is ultimately the waves that we have. So we've had this upside. Of course, we had to come down because this was hot, you know, so it's come down now. And now from my point of view, I saw this earlier on, right? So we did this, we broke out of this, we pumped harder, we're doing this again. It's absolutely fine. Awesome, bro. No worries. Thank you for coming to the show. I hope all of this is helpful. And guys, you know, if you're on Discord, try and use the Discord main chat to engage in any questions, Q&As. It's a lot more easier for me rather than answering, you know, because we've got like 50 or 60 people now. And remember, the Discord is only 2 weeks old. I think we've got about 60 people there. Let me check actually how many people we've got. Let me just check. Boom, we've got 64 people. Yeah, we've got 64 people there. Also, you know, you can go to this link and go and leave a review and a 5-star. I did that myself anyway, but you can go and leave a review and 5-star, whatever. If you want, I can share the link on the Discord for everybody. But it's harder for me to go to 64 people and answer everybody's question one by one, if that makes any sense to you. I hope you all understand. Of course, this community, we want to try and avoid as many private chats or anything. I mean, unless it has to be private, then it's fine. If you really feel that you can't say something on public, you must talk to me. So this is all for the members and everybody that's already in the groups. If you feel that you have to, you must, then of course contact me privately. But if it's going to be every question on privately, then it gets a bit messy for me, and there's a lot of people there and it just takes too much time. I'd rather have the on the community chat, so everyone gets the answer. I'm sure other people will find value from it, and you'll be surprised, there may be other people on there, right, on the actual server, that might answer your question for you. So I might not even have to, and that's what I want to do. I want this community to grow together, so everybody can do their own thing, you know. And so far, I mean, the Discord isn't that active, and I think that's because too many people are contacting me privately. Do you know what I mean? And we don't want that, guys. Let's keep it in the community, in the actual Discord server that we've set up for this kind of stuff. You know what I mean, right? We're here to help each other. So as I said, unless it's absolute necessary, try to avoid contacting me privately, because there'll be a time when I won't be able to answer anybody, and I think people are going to get disappointed. Do you know what I mean? So keep it on the main chat. It's easier, and best part is whenever I open Discord, I can see what I haven't read, and I do read all of them. I literally read everything, apart from some of the YouTube stuff, which is scams. Obviously, you know this, but I do read everything else. So if I see a question there, I'll definitely answer it if somebody else hasn't already, and if someone does, my God, that would be so awesome for me. But yeah, guys, other than that, like, share, subscribe, smash that like button, share with a friend and family if you find value. Let's grow this community. And also, I forgot to mention, you guys probably have seen the giveaway thingy I'm doing. Do you know one of the conditions is to follow me on Twitter as well? So do, if you have the time or patience, follow on Twitter as well. I'm trying to grow the Twitter community as well. So it's not going to be for tweets or anything. Just follow me on Twitter, follow me on Discord, and obviously subscribe to YouTube. That's all you have to do. And these are all kind of just information. So for example, whenever I send out a video to YouTube, for example, I do send out an automatic tweet as well. So you've probably noticed I use a lot of bots, so I do send out a automatic tweet to Twitter, so people over there can get the information. And the stream itself, also the software I'm using, and as you can see, I've got the Discord bot actually running on the chat as well. So I use a lot of bots to kind of automate things for me, to make it easier. It's hard to share to multiple platforms and everything, so we're just trying to grow the community. Okay, so I hope all of this was valuable to you. I hope you found value. Appreciate all of you guys coming over here today. Thank you very much. OC says try to put most of my questions in the public channel. OC, as I said, if you have to, if it's absolutely necessary, then obviously point it towards me. It will be easier, but it's a lot harder to respond to everybody. You know what I mean? And because this is a new channel, and I've already got my old channels that I'm trying to bring people over from, and even then it's hard. And I've also got my client channel, which is actually also very hard, because those guys won't come. They just won't come, doesn't matter what happens. So they're a difficult bunch, but I understand they do pay me. So and if they want to keep themselves private, that's absolutely understandable. So but other than that, my public groups, I am trying to merge everything, bring everybody to Discord, because I find it a lot more easier to keep the community in one place. And ultimately, obviously, I know who you are, but other than that, nobody else needs to know, and everybody can enjoy a good time on Discord as well, with all the information and everything that we have posting there. So main chat's going to be there. Also, I'm going to update a few bits and bobs. Let me open Discord just for the sake of this, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So there's going to be a little bit of update. Some of you guys may notice this all of a sudden, what's happened or vanished. Don't panic. Okay, don't panic. Let me bring this over. So I'm just starting up Discord. Okay. Okay, so some of these areas here I might be deleting, guys. So some of these channels here I might be deleting, like for example, even this one I might be deleting. So there's going to be a lot of changes here. If you do see the server to be slightly different, don't panic. I'm just trying to keep everything as simple as possible, right? So I want to kind of move everything over to the main chat. That should be the main community, nothing else. Because I think I've just kind of made too many. You know, when I look at other servers that I'm on, it's a lot more simple compared to how I've set up mine. So I need to definitely kind of fix this all up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff here, as you can see. So I need to super change some of this stuff, make it more simple, and then get it out there. And I can see peak online 25 people, so we do get like about 25 people online, right? Even now 22 members are online, but then they're not here. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we need. You know what I mean? That's what we need, right? So I'll definitely sort a few bits and bobs out. Probably get rid of a few bots and this and that, but the voice channels are there. You know, you can listen to music and whatnot, and I'm going to use this very soon. As I said, I'm going to do something very soon. But yeah, a lot of changes are coming, especially on this. I want to make it more simple, much more easier, community friendly, and you know, hopefully we can do Q&As directly here as well. So that should be really nice. And I can see Yami didn't come to the show today, but he's here. Vision is here. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he didn't come to the show. Patrick's here, but he didn't come to the show. Free Energy is here, he didn't come to the show. Clutch Boy is here as well, but he didn't come to the show. So yeah, awesome. Being in, yeah, OC's been here from the beginning. KR, what happened? Where were you? You popped in the beginning and then you vanished. So yeah, let's not waste any more time, guys. It's been an awesome stream. Thank you very much. I hope you all appreciate exactly what I'm saying. I hope you understand what I'm saying, and let's grow this team to another level. Let's move up. Let's build a better future, and let's keep 2 steps ahead of the game. And no FOMO, no FUD, none of that disorder here. Do you know what I mean? Because remember what I said, I don't think scientists have medical any remedy to solve your disorder if you have one, if you have a FUD disorder or a FOMO disorder. So yeah, we're disease free here. So yep, like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. It's been an absolute pleasure to be on the stream.